Board. Got the agenda in front of us. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda as written?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we've got the agenda approved and approval of the minutes.
I looked over and I didn't see anything that needed to be corrected, so unless otherwise noted, I'll move that we accept the
minutes as written. Second?
I second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Christy, we're up to program updates and upcoming special events.
Okay. The Search 5K was held in the first weekend in November, which was directly after our meeting on the 1st. I think it was the 3rd. There was around 350 students. That was down from their normal count because the running programs with the schools were affected with the hurricane. Not as many schools did their running programs as I understand it. That was one of the things they were saying, but it was still a good turnout. A lot of fun was had by the kids. We had over 200 for the turkey trot. That was a really big turnout Thanksgiving morning, and one of the police officers helped me weigh the food, and we contributed 507 pounds of food to the One Can Food Ministry. So that was a big impact, and they were very grateful. At least 200, I think, was a good estimate, although I was in a mask, so it was very hard to see for the tree lighting, but that's what I'm going with based on what I heard from other staff.
You said what?
At least 200.
I think there were more than that, Christy, because there were
a lot of.
There were a lot. I'd just say 350, just based on my observation.
And there was only one cookie tray left. I don't know how many cookies you ordered, but there was only
I
half
think-
of a cookie.
You're talking about the turkey. She's talking about the turkey.
No, I'm talking about
tree
tree
lighting.
She's talking about the tree lighting.
Oh, okay, yeah, it was a ton of people.
Yeah, because people came through forever for Santa.
Yes, they did. The Grinch line stayed busy.
I would really consider upping that number.
Okay. And then the Sandy Paws Dog Parade was moved from tomorrow to next Friday at 1 p.m. So that'll be next Friday the 14th at 1 p.m. As far as an update on the with upcoming special events, the 50th anniversary, I think I'm on my way with my list. I contacted the realty companies. Becky, you said you would take care of yours, right? Yeah, and they all are aware that we're doing something in case they want to run any specials. The piece went out directly following the meeting in a blast about save the date, and we had it on the water bill, and it's going to go on the water bill that's coming out again. So far we don't have any pictures, but I know that people got that email because somebody told me that they're bringing some back into town when they go out of town.
I talked to Regina Martin at the tree lighting, and she's got a bunch, John.
Okay, great.
And I told her that you would contact her. She said, we
Okay.
can use all that you want.
Okay,
But she'd like for you to contact her.
okay, great.
And she's actually the person that called me as well because she was calling about the date for the dog parade.
Okay.
And she said she has to get them, I think, from when she goes back home in the next couple of weeks, and she'd bring them down. She
Okay,
doesn't
great.
keep them here. And I know that Becky and Karen had said at the last meeting that they were going to work on the time capsule. I guess the only other thing that I needed to add is Dolly brought this to me from Marlene Hahn, and I don't know if the Beacon even still does this kind of thing. I need to contact Lindsay, but it was when the town turned 35, and this whole insert is about Holden Beach, and it's the history, and it has that little timeline that's on the conference room upstairs, but there's different articles about the beach, and then it looks as if businesses took out ads and congratulated the town on their birthday. Like this one just happens to be the first page, but it's Alan and it's the generations of Holdens with the realty company. So I'm going to follow up with Lindsay and see if it's something that they do, because this is a good promotion for the town. But you guys may want to think if we do undertake this, it's something we can do. We will need some, Heather and I'll need some help
Oh, yeah.
with articles to include and what you think should go inside. So just keep that in mind, and I'll follow up with Lindsay on this kind of thing and pricing.
I also called Bev Weller. She was here for Mike's retirement. And her phone, she still is an active member in beautification, but she was a commissioner back in the day. So I called her earlier, recently, and talked to her thinking she might remember where a time capsule was, but she does not remember anything about, and she would have been here during the era of pre-sewer and maybe up to sewer when she was a commissioner. Her husband ended up getting sick and they had to move off the island, and he has since passed away, but she's still living.
Did the lady from the newspaper get back with you? They didn't have anything.
They don't have anything. I think we're going to have to just call that one done if it's out there and start over.
Yeah, because we can't dig up the whole
Right.
front of the property.
It may be under
It may be under the
It may not
sidewalk.
be there.
We may be
dug up
sitting
there
on
the
it.
last building dig, right?
I mean, we have a metal detector if it had any metal in it.
Well, and, Becky and I are going to meet after the meeting, but, I guess, too, we have to figure out what kind of container we're going to use, and are we actually going to bury the time capsule? I mean, is it really necessary to bury it? Or can we
If
put
you
it...
can't remember where
if
you
you can't
buried it.
remember, yeah.
I would suggest
Or do you
if
just
rather than burying it,
just put it...
bury it in town hall in the records.
In the archive it,
In
like.
the archives, yeah,
Mhm.
archive it. Would be my recommendation.
Yeah. Because I don't know that any of us will be on the board
50 years.
50 years from
No,
now.
I'm not.
I'm not retired.
25 years.
And David followed up with the fire department on the bonfire,
Okay.
and they are set to help. We just have to re-engage them a couple weeks out to remind them. So,
Where do you think it's going to be, Christy?
I would guess, and I'm just guessing here because we didn't talk about it that far, but I would think a good access point would be Jordan
Jordan
because of
Mall,
all the
yeah.
parking.
Okay.
Good, I can walk.
Plus, if people are leaving from the dinner here to go to it and they want to have a nice little stroll, they maybe wouldn't have to move their cars.
Christy, what else do you need with all of this? We came up with all these ideas and basically said go with it. What can we do to help you? Besides actually being present the day of and
Yeah, I think that the majority of it's going to be that. This will be a big piece that I'll have to get back to you about once I find out, so that will require some work. And just updating if you decide, like your time capsule, if you can tell people at meetings where we are with that. But the ordering the food will be simple, so it'll be the day of events. And I think
Okay.
people have pretty much said they're available.
okay.
So
Okay. Upcoming the special events. Do you have that next half marathon schedule? Is that in February? Is that in January?
It's
Couldn't remember.
January.
January.
it is January the 19th.
January 19th.
That's their reschedule from the September date.
Okay.
It's a half marathon, a mile, and a 5K.
And January will be their date now, so they won't.
Okay. Okay. Anything else? Anybody else have any thoughts, concerns about anything coming up?
Just one thing I'll add. I met with Brunswick Arts Council 2 days ago. I think they're going to plan a run here to draw awareness to the Arts Council in March. It's planned to be the 9th. and they're going to offer some. Their plan, I think, at the moment is to also offer some arts activities at the pavilion afterwards for kids. So it'll be a little something different if you guys are
Is that
interested.
kind of like
in it.
Art in the Park in Southport or something? Or is that by the same?
I don't know if that's by the same people, but
Yes.
Is it?
they moved from doing one large fundraiser to several different things, then tried to spread it around the county
Uh-huh.
to engage
That's a
people.
good idea.
And we have talked to them about possibly partnering to get some school kids involved and work on some type of mural on the restroom in the park. But
Awesome.
we are very in the early stages of those talks and where that needs to go. So
If we do that, let's get that to the state recreation magazine,
Mm-hmm.
pictures and that eventually. Because I was thinking about the fence
that they
that we
should.
saw in one of the slides from one of the awards things.
Last summer, we were up in Asbury Park in New Jersey, right there on the beach, and they've got a lot of those murals on the old, yeah.
Street art.
Yeah, oh, they're just awesome. I've got a lot of pictures of that, so that would really be neat. That would really be neat.
That's what I had.
That's what you have?
Yep, it's a pretty
All right,
even keel
Can I
month.
ask a quick question?
Mm-hmm.
Our new fee thing, would the January 19th group be in line to pay that fee for that? Or is that
I have to wait until after the Board of Commissioners meeting to
I
answer
know,
that.
I know that.
Yeah, if the fee schedule is implemented in the December meeting, then it should be. But I don't want to answer yes that it
Yes,
will in case
I
something
understand that,
happens.
but it would apply if it's passed to that group.
But not the Brunswick Art Council, because
But
they're
not-
nonprofit, right?
Would that have to be determined?
They're nonprofit and they would be in the to be determined category.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it will depend on if they're doing work with us as a mural on what their price break will be.
Mhm.
So we really are just kind of like leaving it up to you to determine these nonprofits, because let's say they come in and we know that they're pretty successful, even if they're a nonprofit, if they're not giving back to the town, then we might be looking at least to cover the cost of our,
I think regardless, we're
Employees.
probably covering costs, but David and I will look at it. I think it was in the language, it was left up
It
to
was you,
staff.
Dave.
The staff would determine, yeah.
So he and I both discuss it and decide.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, this fee would not apply to Days at the Dock and the festival.
There was some discussion, but we separated them. There might be another evolution of coming back around to look at festivals and if festivals should be giving money back to the town, but right now it's for races. We separated the two. So the fee schedule's going back as special events for races.
Races. Okay.
If they did that, what kind of race would that be with the Arts Council? Would that be like a 5K?
They're doing a 5K.
5K.
Yeah, they're starting small.
Okay.
But they do want to, as we left our discussions, they do want to have it timed.
Oh, okay.
So I think they are going to invest in
Oh, okay.
a company to run it for them.
Okay.
And I think that their plan is to possibly see if they can get plein air painters over to paint scenes of Holden Beach on like Friday, ahead of the ceremony where they have, or the pickup
Uh-huh.
registration. And then that way people can engage with the artist if they're interested.
Uh-huh.
Their packet pickup will be across the bridge, so that doesn't affect our vending ordinance. They had already planned that with an art group over at Kelly's place. So.
Oh.
The Grinch stole my heart.
Oh, it was wonderful.
That was such
It
a
was
good
just
idea.
wonderful.
And the kids absolutely loved it. And the parents did too, because really they got 3 opportunities, with Santa and Mrs. Santa, and then the tree, and then with the Grinch.
Oh, the kids are so
Oh,
excited,
I
writing
dare
letters
say-
too.
I dare say 2,000 pictures were taken. I'm serious. Because I told Dwight when we left, I said, Olin Mills could have made a fortune. Or a professional photographer there. Because, everybody, they were taking pictures from the ground and on the stage. Grandmas and grandpas, wherever. It was quite a
It's just a neat,
Photo-
neat
photo
community.
time.
It's
It
just
was.
a wonderful.
And I've had numerous people tell me how much they enjoy it and how much they appreciate it. Parents who I know in the community who have young children.
Well, I know that I think maybe several of us have had conversations, and I may have mentioned it, but I don't think people will believe that we didn't plan that after the movie came out, but really we planned that back in the summer.
I don't believe it,
Before we knew
'cause
the
it
movie
just
was
so
coming out.
apropos.
But I did want to say to the board that I told David after that event that we really do have more than a board of 7. We have a board for all of our events that show up with your family in tow to help, and that's what makes the events that happen here actually happen the way they should. So we do appreciate everything that you and your families put into the events to help the community have a good time.
Well, thank you for
Thank you,
that.
but we've got some
But
good
at the same
leadership.
time, this staff
Is
at
always
this town hall and the husbands and I guess some wives of staff really jump in and help. It's a good
It
thing.
is. It is a good thing.
Many hands make work light. And
And it was
And
fun.
it really is, it does go smoothly. But that's your leadership. A lady that lives on Crab Street part-time told Dwight they drove from Fayetteville every year to bring their grandchildren to this event and drove back after they left.
Wow.
Oh, it
Wow.
may be not the best time for me to tell you that, but we're actually contemplating. We have for a few years, but I think we're going to Friday next year. So if you are ready to go ahead and gear up your calendars, that your Friday nights might be asked of you on that night. I think.
Well, to me it makes sense.
Yeah,
because
it does make
Yeah.
sense.
Because of the children in school.
The only problem is, it's your Friday night that you're, and I always look at the staff and it's
Yeah,
like,
right.
well, we don't have anything to do on Friday night. That's wonderful, but you're missing part of your weekend with your family too.
I think that the main, not that everybody doesn't help, but the main folks involved down there during that time are Heather and Rhonda and I. We've kind of talked about it, and we think that Friday may be the better option, and that way people that maybe were coming into town for the weekend can come. So that's probably what we're going to look at for next year.
Good.
Was the beanbag toss there last year?
It was.
I didn't see it there last year, but this year with Lewis, it was so cute because the kids thought it was to put their little faces in. I was like,
I saw
that's
that.
such a good idea! And I got myself in there too, and I took pictures, and I just liked that because I didn't know that. And I was like, yeah, let's do that! And I was there just taking pictures of their little faces in there. So,
It was just, it was a fun evening.
If you want to expand it, I did see some kids the other day. You know how they walk with the egg on a spoon?
Yeah.
They had a Christmas ornament. And you had to do the relay race with the Christmas ornament on the spoon and not drop it off.
That's pretty cool.
Hallmark
Might
movie.
do that rather than some of the musical chairs.
I don't know if that can ever go away. That stays pretty.
No, I'm not saying take that away, but as many things as were brought this time, it would be good to alternate some of them. Because they really did pitch in.
I agree.
Well, public comment. Pat, do you have anything you want to say?
I loved Grinch. I actually sent a message in about Grinch, and all I was thinking is, You better start early to figure out how to top this one next
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
This is not going to be easy.
No, it's not. Oh, it was
And I
awesome.
was watching the little kids. They were cute.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They were really cute.
But it was actually funny. I'll tell this now, but Becky helped me get into my suit because we needed to put a safety pin up so you couldn't see my outfit or my shirt. And they were all speaking, and my job was to call. That's like usually my job anyway, but I had to call Santa Claus and get the fire truck from here to there, and I needed to be following along on my phone. So it looked like the Grinch was really into their phone over there to anybody else back behind, because I'm like trying to get it done right. And then once I lifted up my head to make my call, I realized that I might not be back on straight and all covered up. So I'm like doing this behind, and I'm trying to get him. Alan and Mike are looking at me like this, and they're like, I think she needs somebody. Am I on straight?
That was wonderful.
It was great.
Did anybody see that movie? We took my granddaughter to see
I
that.
haven't
Oh,
seen
it
it.
was, even if you don't have grandkids, I think you just need to see those.
Good rent something.
Yeah. It was a good movie.
And I sent thank you notes, and we announced it from the stage. But if you guys are just in the businesses, if you could also mention, I mean, Domino's always donates pizza. Subway always bakes all of those cookies and donates them. The town does not buy those.
That's a good.
The Merchants Association gave us $427 with tax, I think, dollars for that photo booth, which is how much that costs. That the town doesn't have to buy that. So, and beautification bakes the baked goods or picks some up from the store. And we supplement with some of the cookies from Subway, so we don't have to purchase any of that. So if you see any of those folks, that helps the town. If you'll pass along from your positions as the board, that'd be great.
I guess this would be under public comments too. Christy, in our board meeting at the HBBC, and this is not written in granite yet, it was just something that we discussed, but we would maybe want to plant a tree for the 50th birthday in the park. I know that's going to not be an easy thing. We know where we can't plant it, but if you might want to do some thinking about that, where you might like a tree.
Were there any trees that flew over during Florence? I know some were leaning pretty badly.
Yeah.
I can check on, I know that none of them blew over, but I can check on if we think everything's going to make it. As far as palm trees, we don't have much luck with palm trees. They're
Yeah,
good,
it doesn't
they're
have to be a
beachy,
palm.
but yeah.
It could
You know,
be
at one-
something else.
At one point, there was a evergreen. I think a cedar.
It's still there.
There's
Is
there.
it still there?
still there.
Yeah,
'Cause it
Matthew
doesn't
got
decorate.
it pretty
Yeah,
bad there on
it's-
one side. I think it was Matthew, but it's coming back.
Okay.
I'm the only one that believed in that tree, by the way. Heather and I had a bet, and guess who won?
Let me ask this, the next meeting is scheduled for January 3rd, and that's just, obviously, it's 2 days after January 1. Will we have enough people here for a quorum?
I'll be
I
You'll be
won't
here?
be here, but
Okay, I'll be
we
here.
come home that day, if we do.
I'll be
How
here.
about you, Olivia?
I'll be here.
Are you okay with that then?
I mean, I'm planning on being
Okay,
here.
all right.
That's the day we come home, but
Okay,
I'll be
okay.
fine.
Okay. Then I
And-
guess.
And along those same lines, and I just found this out this week, since your agenda packet's gone out, but when you guys come to the January meeting, can you have a couple of extra February days in mind? Our meeting is scheduled for the 7th, and there's a conference I would really like to go to. And I think that David may be going as well, possibly. And that would mean that neither of us can be here, and we're the clerk to the board. So if we can maybe, I don't want to get rid of that meeting because that's before the 50th anniversary, but if we could possibly move it around, if that
The earlier the
comes-
better.
Yeah, if that comes.
When
up
do you
to
go
that.
to the conference?
It's the 6th through the 8th.
Well, why don't you give us a date that would
So
Yeah.
work for you, and let's see if we can take care of that.
Okay,
No.
Christy, with the 14th being the anniversary celebration, would it be something that maybe just because you need to regroup with us prior to that day, maybe even the day before, 13th? I'm just thinking about my, and then of course I don't count, but I'll be in town
I think move
at
it
least
back
the day before.
even for,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would say
The 4th or 4th?
the 1st, 4th, or 5th.
You can't do it, oh, February 1st.
February,
Yeah.
Yeah, and with me just finding out and us still talking through who's going or if we're both going to be able to go, I just wanted to register it with you so you guys didn't lock in on the 7th. It may be that it doesn't work out, but let me just get back to you at the next meeting or if I find out something in between.
Okay.
Now, are you gonna be back on the 8th?
Yes. But not, I think I would be back later in the day. It's
Okay.
Winston-Salem.
Okay. And if you finish at lunch, it's
Anything else? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
All right, so the next scheduled meeting is January 3rd at 2 o'clock.
And Dolly was the motion. Do we have a second?
Do we have a second?
A second.
All right.